Good afternoon, Anuma ma'am.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Good, good. Thank you.
And
Uh,
good afternoon,
Hello. Welcome,
Pranav,
everyone.
Ajay, Prasad, Ritu, Chirag, Noor.
Thanks. We'll wait for 5 more minutes for people to join.
Sure, Rushi, and I can share my screen, right?
Yeah, I'll just make you host. Give me 1 minute.
Make me the co-host, huh, please.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm just doing that.
Good afternoon, Ajay.
Ma'am, can you try now? If you can share the screen, I'll make you the host, and I am now the co-host. Yes, we can see the screen now. Yes. So let's wait for 3 more minutes. We'll start at 4:03 so that other people can join.
So, while we just is my voice okay? Can you all hear me?
Anubha, I think there are two devices close by.
Correct, correct. So you have to mute on one device, and all the speaker as well as mic you have to mute, Anuga.
Yeah, I did. I did that. I could hear such a resounding sound.
Now it's fine. Yes, it's good.
Yeah, now
Yes.
I've gone and kept the other device away only.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm saying that till the time when we are joining, can everybody just say where they are from in the chat box, please? I'm from Delhi. Delhi, Pune, Agra, where else? Ajay from Lucknow. Thank you, Ajay. Vinay Delhi. It's so amazing, no? Since everything is on Zoom these days, one can be from anywhere and yet attend any session and learn anything. I find it so amazing.
I guess that's the positive side of this corona and all that. Now we all so much learn about this technology, right? Of course, some of us know it, but this make us more advanced into technology, and I think that's the positive side. Again,
Absolutely. So there are people like me who still struggle with Zoom after doing like thousands of sessions, attending and giving.
but
Still,
but
you know, I have to find my way around.
but as we say, right, it's always learning. So each and every and we learn technology as well as other things.
Absolutely, as well as other things.
I think we can start now, and by the time people joining, I will let them in.
Okay, so
We have 20 people, so we can start now. Yes.
awesome. Thank you to all of you for joining in today. I know you could have been doing anything, including taking a nap, which is actually which is what I would have been doing if I had not been doing this session. So thank you so much for joining in, guys. I see so many of you are from various places, and it's so much fun. And thank you so much. Let's begin with what I always say, the intention. So I'm just wondering if you all can maybe also switch on your videos if it is comfortable and your networks are okay. Switch on the videos so that I can see who I'm speaking with. And I also request you all to. So we'll first begin with this. What are your intention for this time that we are going to be spending together? Like maybe 45 minutes to an hour. Anybody who can volunteer and just unmute themselves and speak, or yeah, Prasanthi, you have your hand raised. Is that by mistake or do you want to say something? So Ajay, will you like to volunteer and say what is it that you're expecting out of this 45 to 1 hour here, 45 minutes to an hour?
Well, Anubha, I've heard a lot about the sessions which happen here and especially what you have been doing. So I think I'm open for a lot of surprises today, and I'm really looking at possibly gaining an insight into, understanding myself to a great extent.
Okay. And the topic of this session is knowing your emotions and how to stop overthinking. And I'm wondering, maybe you all can share in the chat, how many of you actually overthink? And include me in that list. Please type yes if you guys tend to overthink.
Yeah, I
Yes.
would like to say something. May I please?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good afternoon. This is Prasad from Mumbai. Yeah, I want to say, I want to tell that we overthink sometimes when the things are not going the way they are supposed to be, as per our wish. At that
Okay.
time, overthinking happens.
Okay.
That is what I want to share over here. So that, and we get into that overthinking vicious circle, and sometimes it becomes very difficult to come out of that thinking pattern. Just keep on thinking, and there are no actions at all, and we get lost into that. And it takes a lot of energy from our like physical energy, mental energy. A lot of energy is getting exhausted over there, and there are no returns. There is no outcome.
Right. Right.
So what is the use of that overthinking? I mean, there is no use of it's useless actually, but then also the mind is such a monkey that it keeps on overthinking without any result, without any direction at all.
Right. I agree. So Ritu says, "Oh yes, all the time. Please include me in the list also." I like to call myself a thinker, and I do get into overthinking many times also. And so who am I? So then if I overthink, if I don't have my life entirely completely sorted, then who am I to deliver this session to you all anyway, right? Like so many of you are here, you have joined me, so who am I? So I'd say that,
But
you know, it is all a part of being human. It comes as a package of being human. We feel things, we think things, and we do things. And it's all because our design is like that. So we cannot, so there is nobody who I know of yet who says that I don't think at all and I don't feel at all. So I am Anubha Kathuria Bilani. I'm a emotional intelligence and values coach. I love to coach parents
हळू बोल.
and women.
मी झोपली सकाळी 4 झोपली. तू
Can you all mute yourselves,
पण
please?
sorry.
No problem. Thank you. And I'm a mother of a 18-year-old, not a child anymore, an adult. And I'm a big fan of Shah Rukh Khan. That's what I tell everyone. So, well, this is who I am in a nutshell. I love to do pottery. I love content generation and all of that. And of course, I have done a couple of courses, and that makes me and lived almost 49 years of my life. And hence, here I am with all my life experiences backing me to share my journey with you. So let us not make this as a Gyan session, because this isn't what it is. It is a conversation. It's a conversation that I'd love to have with all of you all as to how you feel, what you do, and what is it that you overthink. And so we have Prasad. You have raised your hand. Is there something you want to say?
Yes, definitely, yes. See, such kind of sessions keep me alive, and I'm desperately and eagerly waiting for such kind of sessions also. Okay, so like, who am I coming to that? From spiritual point of view, it's a realization of self. How you can realize yourself with a divine inner gaze from the spiritual point of view.
Absolutely.
From materialistic point of view, who am I? So we can attach the labels like I'm so and so, I'm a doctor, I'm an engineer, I'm a teacher, I'm a lawyer, something like that. But it is in the materialistic world, and there is no end to that, and there is no satisfaction level at all. But like,
Absolutely.
then also we keep on adding the labels, and like we uh, boast ourselves or something like that. I mean, these are my views. They are not binding to anyone. Okay.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you
I
for
I
sharing.
respect others'
Thank you
views.
for sharing.
I respect difference of opinions also. But this
Thank
is
you.
what the definition of who am I.
Thank you. And I was not really alluding to any definition. I was just introducing myself on a very, very physical plane. And I understand we're all part of one system: physical, mental, emotional, and psychological, spiritual. It's all one system. So, Renu Lal, you have your hand raised. Is there something you want to say, or is that by mistake?
No, not really. It was an answer to who overthinks.
Okay. 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 Join the gang, Renu. Join the gang.
Yeah.
All right. So, having said all of these things, let us just look at quickly as to what your takeaways from this session will be. You are giving me your time, you're giving me your energy. I want to ensure you all walk away a little bit richer from here. So, nature of emotions and thoughts, that's what I intend to discuss. I also intend to discuss how we are all receivers and transmitters of information, of emotions and thoughts. And then we are going to learn how, when we name our emotions, we can actually tame them. It's like, when we don't know what is what, we really don't know how to handle it. But the minute we name something, we are able to manage and handle it. We're also going to be looking at how our words, what we speak, are a tool. We will also look into how our body is a tool, and we will look into power of 3 A's. And I'll get to 3 A's when we come to it, not right now. So let's begin by speaking about emotions. We all feel something. and we all feel something all day long. So we may be feeling thousands of emotions. Actually there are hundreds of them, but we only identify, research told us that we only identify with 6 major ones. And if I was to really put it simply, emotions are nothing but energy in motion. And we can also think about them as a feedback system, because say for example somebody says something to you and you get hurt. Now, why are you getting hurt? It's a message to you. It's a message that you've been triggered and you got hurt because of what somebody has said to you, right? So it means that something that you don't like has come up for you. And by the way, that's a great clue that tells us when our values have been compromised, when we are not living our values, or we just need to simply heal. That's it. And there are so we do tend to for the sake of ease say that these are negative emotions and then some are positive emotions. And while it's okay to kind of say negative and positive, all negative emotions also have some kind of influence. They do definitely have a lot of influence, but they also have information in them. So if you are not angry, you will probably not talk about the system that is flawed, right? So we need anger in right amounts. We need our sadness in right amounts, because we are, like I said, and all emotions are okay. The thing that changed a lot of my perception about emotions was that when I started to understand that all emotions are okay and we are here to feel them all. And in a day itself, I'm allowed to feel all the emotions, right? From sadness, from grief, from happiness to elation to bliss, joy, frustration. So many emotions. The problem begins when we start to think that we can control them, or we want to flip them. We want to flip them quickly. If somebody is crying, like I'll take an example of parenting. So if your child is crying, you quickly want to fix it, right? You want to, not obviously as a parent, you don't want to see them in pain, but we also try to, um, say negate their emotions. We don't know it. We are doing it absolutely unconsciously, but we do that. अच्छा रोना नहीं है, रोने की क्या बात है, चुप हो जाओ, I will give you a chocolate. Okay, if you don't cry, I will do this, I will do that. So quickly we want the child to shut down and stop crying. I also see a lot of emotional shaming happening, right? Like, for example, scientists are all logical. So sometimes I wonder if you're logical beings or emotional beings, right? And then we say artists, oh, they are all feely. They are all emotional. Okay, men don't cry. Okay, girls should not laugh too loud. Okay, these are I'm not saying it applies to everybody, but what I'm saying is that these are the common things that go into actually I would call it emotional shaming. We don't allow ourselves to feel what we are feeling, and we don't allow the others also to feel what they are feeling, because we are uncomfortable with emotions. And that is why sadness, anger, jealousy, we all think that, oh, we should not be feeling this. So the thing is not that we should not be feeling it. The thing is how you can feel it, how you can understand what's happening, what your emotion is telling you, and then step out of it. Stepping out is very important. Any questions on emotions, or thoughts, or any other thing that you that may be arising in you? I suggest that just write them down, and we will take a small break in the middle, and we will get to those. Some of your questions, I'm sure, will be answered as we are going. Okay, so having said and having spoken about emotions, let's just see what are thoughts. Now thoughts, like there is this mobile that you have. We receive signals there, and we when we call out, we also transmit, right? So we are all consider all of us humans as receivers and transmitters both of energy, of information, of emotions, and of thoughts. So, do you know that we think about 60,000 thoughts in a day? Yeah, that's right, 60,000 thoughts. And then we say we are overthinking. Of course, we are overthinking because we've been thinking 60,000 thoughts. And any thought that you think for 3 seconds, it's a 3 second rule. If you think a thought, another accompanying thought will follow it, which means what? Which means if I am sitting and thinking about rain, I will probably think more about rain, then other issues will come up, then I will start to maybe fear also. Oh, what if it rains? My earlier it used to be when I was dating my now husband, ki, wow, rain and romance. Now it is, oh, kapde gile ho jayenge, oh, traffic jam ho jayega and all of that. So thoughts have changed. Rain is the same. Emotion has also changed. Yes, Ajay, I see you laugh. Yeah. So so this is also the beauty of emotions and thought, that they keep changing, and that's the fun part of it. Okay, so the 3 second rule is this, that we keep getting accompanying thoughts through the day. So if you are, and do you know also that the next day you're going to be thinking almost 90% of the same thought, which means that 10% is only which is going to change. So just imagine what we do when we are overthinking. And okay, so we'll come to a thought experiment. So what is a thought experiment? Now, what if everybody of you, I would ask you to just, please not think about a pink elephant. Please don't think about the pink elephant. And please don't think that that big pink elephant has a small baby pink elephant. And now don't even think about the baby pink elephant, okay? And don't think about its tail for sure. And don't think that it is so, so cute with big, doleful eyes. Please don't think, okay? And now I just want you all to write in the chat. Did you think about the pink elephant, or did you not think about the pink elephant? Right? Yes. That's a really cute pink elephant. Yes, I did, Pranav. Yes, you did. And who else? So nobody else out of all the participants. I think we are about 30 odd of us. Okay, Yamini says yes. The rest of us did not think about it. We did not think about the pink, cute elephant for a moment. Okay. Human behavior. Oof. Yeah, I know. Oof. I like the oof, Anshik. Yeah, so cool. Yeah, happened automatically. So that's the thought experiment. Yeah, you cannot control your thoughts, right? And or we want to control everything. We in fact, अगर हमारे बस की हो तो we'll probably go control the weather also, like I was just saying, right? Like आज बारिश नहीं होनी चाहिए, आज my husband's gone to work, okay? Please, and in fact that's exactly what I speak also. Monday को बारिश नहीं होनी चाहिए, Sunday Saturday हो जाए चलेगा ना. So control करना चाहते हैं हम सब, but it is not in our control. What we are thinking is not in our control. People will come and tell you, oh, please think positive thoughts. ऐसे होता है क्या? Is it possible that you ask yourself to think positive thoughts only? So you can't really control your thoughts and you can't really control your emotions. You can manage them. So, did you know this? That we are all actually living in the feeling of our thought. What we think, we feel. So, if I was to, let's experiment. I love experiments. And I say all the time, our life is our laboratory. हम यहाँ experiment नहीं करेंगे तो कहाँ करेंगे, right? So let's just have another experiment. Now just think about a nice holiday that you have spent, and think about that happy moment when you were so joyful and you would just having loads and loads of fun. There were giggles all around. Maybe you had your family, or maybe you had your friends around you, and you were joking and laughing and walking and doing so many things. So when we think that, we start to feel happy, right? And that's the power of visualization also. We start to feel what we are actually thinking. So we are actually all living in the feeling of our thought. Now, good thing about the bad news. How can bad news have good thing? So the good thing is, the bad news is that you cannot control what you are thinking or what you are emoting. You cannot control how you are emoting. Of course you can control, but what you are going through as emotions you cannot control. And now what is the good thing? The good thing is you can manage it, and that is your superpower. You can respond, you can give, practice the pause. Like I say, I need to practice it all the time also. But before the amygdala hijacks your brain, and in when you're angry, of course we are talking about emotions, not because we are so upset that we are feeling happy all the time. We are talking about emotions and thoughts because we go through difficult emotions, and it's the difficult emotions that need to be dealt with more often than not. So we can manage it. We can manage it through a lot of things. Like I said in the beginning of the session, we can name them, and we can do a lot of other things which I will discuss in the coming few slides. So what happens? Can we control the outer circumstances, situations, and people? Can we control anybody? Yes, no, maybe. Chat box? No, no. Okay. We would love to. I mean, I would love to control my husband. I would love to control my son. And I would love to control so many other things. But yeah, no. But again, like I said, the good thing about the bad news is that we can manage it. Again, we cannot control what we are feeling, what we are thinking. And, when we start to try, then it is then that we start to feel very, very upset. So you cannot say, oh, you cannot. So most of the times what happens? We are upset that we are upset. एक तो अपसेट है, ऊपर से उसके ऊपर से अपसेट हो रहे हैं कि यार हमें अपसेट क्यों है. एक तो गुस्सा करके आए अपने किसी को, कॉलीग से लड़के आए, या किसी के ऊपर गुस्सा करके आए, और मे बी वी स्पोक समथिंग नास्टी टू आवर चिल्ड्रन, एंड देन वी फर्स्ट वी थ्रू आवर एंगर देयर, then we are angry about why we are angry here. So we actually double the emotion. Can you see that? We actually double it. We are angry about being angry. What if we just allow, okay, I was angry at that time. Now, how can I make amends? And the best thing is, what if we learn how to express anger in a positive, non-violent manner? Yeah, it's possible. So, like I said, when we were talking about the emotions, the 5 basic emotions that 6 basic emotions that people are able to identify very, very quickly are these: happiness, sadness, frustration, disgust, anger, and yeah. So this was a research. Now, and how do we actually deal with the emotions? Now we know that emotions are not actually just black or white, like just one emotion, two emotions, three emotions. We have a range of emotions. So from extreme rage to irritated, we easily label it as anger. From mild frustration to nervousness, we label it as anxiety. From sadness to grief, we label depression. In fact, stress is like a huge buzzword in my house with my child. And he's like always, he always says that he is stressed so many times, and the thing is that if you identify your emotion in the correct measurement, it really, really helps change our feelings also. So this is the emotional wheel. I have taken it from Google Baba, and you all can also go and download it. It just tells you that, there are so many shades to the emotions. There are many, many emotions. If I'm saying that, oh, I'm so depressed today, my domestic staff is on leave, is it really true? Am I really depressed? But then if nobody else, I know I'm the drama queen, right? So I know I'm creating a drama by saying, oh, I'm so depressed and blah, blah, blah. But the thing is that my mind is listening. If nobody else is listening, at least my mind is listening. I am listening. Okay. And that really shifts the emotions and the way we experience them. So this is a very, I really love this emotional wheel because it helps identify a lot of emotions. So it's not depression that I'm feeling if my domestic staff is not around. It's just maybe I'm like frustrated by she didn't come today. That's it. So if you label them correctly, you can tame them. You cannot tame the unseen demons, so to say, right? So name them correctly. That's the first tool or you know. Suggestion or advice or tip or a technique that I can share with you. Another thing, like I said, words are our tools. So words help here because, like I said, you are listening to what you are saying, right? And then awareness is the first step towards change. Any change, you have to be aware. Okay, I'm feeling this. Okay, maybe I'm feeling frustrated, and it's okay to feel frustrated. It's fine. It's not going to kill me. I can feel. I allow myself to feel frustrated because I'm aware I'm feeling frustrated. Another thing is I am versus I am feeling. So let's again do a small experiment, and you all can say to yourselves, or just feel how the energy is when you say that. I am sad, or I am feeling sad. So what is the difference in the energy when you say either of these two things? Of course, yeah. Yes, Anshik, there's a lot of difference because what you say next to I am becomes your identity. And have you ever seen a person who is sad 24 hours a day? Not possible, right? Or somebody who's happy 24 hours a day? Not possible. So it's not your identity. Your emotion is not who you are. Your thoughts are not what you are. You may get thousands and thousands, like we do get thousands and thousands of thoughts. But if we were to really listen to all of them or really take them seriously, I mean, life is going to be tough, right? So don't take your thoughts seriously. In fact, I say don't believe all your thoughts. So before we get on to body as a tool, I'm just wondering how's the room here? How's everyone feeling? And if somebody has a question to ask or a thought to share, unfortunately, I cannot see you all. So maybe you can just say in chat. Anybody, any questions, any thoughts that you would like to share before we go on to body as a tool? No one? So everybody's feeling very zen, is it?
I want to say something. May I please?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, whenever we are concentrating or focusing on some lecture or something like that, or some session, at that time also sometimes at the back of the mind the thoughts are going on and on and on, and we get lost into that. Yeah, I mean the focus gets diverted.
Yeah.
What could be the reason? Suppose if I'm sitting in a lecture and the lecture is not, I'm not commenting anything on lecture, whether it is boring or whether it is appealing, whether it is pleasant, whether it is interesting. I'm not commenting on that.
I'm sorry,
But the lecture is going on.
I can't hear you very well. Can you just repeat, please? So sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Am I audible now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Suppose the lecture is going on and I'm into some different world. The thoughts are going on in the mind at the back of the mind, and I'm into different world. So this happens with many of the people where they are in some other world, and something else is happening over there in front of them. So what can be the solution on this?
So okay. So yeah, that's a very common thing. We are thinking of something while the lecture is going on. So, and it is still, it's a great thing that one is aware of it. So, like I said, the first step to any kind of transformation or any kind of change or any kind of change in behavior, attitude, and stuff is awareness. So be present. All you can tell your conscious to be. We do tend to get into the subconscious mind a lot of times, 90% or more than it, actually 80%, around 85% of our lives are governed by our subconscious mind. Our conscious mind is the logical mind. Our conscious mind is the one that keeps us present and awake and completely present to the situation or as it is happening. So when you go into your subconscious mind and you are going on thinking, like I said, 3-second rule happens and then we get into a train of thoughts. So the only thing that you can do is to come back into your senses and use your body as a tool. Like I said, mindfulness is nothing but using your body as a tool. Be aware of what you're seeing with your eyes. Be aware of what you're hearing at that time. Be aware of what you're feeling, how your hands are lying down on the desk, how your body is sitting on the chair. Just get into your body. We are too much living in our mind at that time. And to come back to awareness, that's body is the best tool. I hope I am able to answer that.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'm so sorry for your loss, Ritu. I just read in the chat that you've lost your husband and you are sad 24 hours a day. Grief is, it really does come, doesn't, so allow yourself to grieve fully, Ritu. That's all that I can say at this moment. Allow yourself to feel the grief. Don't bang yourself and don't think that, I have to get out of this. Why am I feeling this? Of course, it's very understandable. Like I said, all emotions are okay, and your grief is telling you, of course, that it's a huge loss. And yeah, so Yamini also said something. I've lost the chat. One moment, I can't see. It's scroll up. Yamini, can you just say what you typed? I've lost the chat. Okay, so Anshik says that you said it's okay to be sad. Yeah, to some extent it's good, but why, when am I even with someone, I feel lonely for a sec, I can't express my feelings right now. Yeah, Anshik, I hear you. Okay, when someone gets fail in something, then how he or she will come out from that thought instantly and prepare for future goal instantly. So Shivam, unfortunately, I only know of Maggie instant noodles. Thoughts and emotions take some time. Yes, when we do the inner work, that time we come back to our center much more quickly and faster. And but like I said, all feelings, if you have failed in something or if you've not done anything up to what you were expecting yourself to be performing at, it just tells you, it's a feedback. Failure is a feedback. It only tells you what you need to do more. Stop doing something, do more of something, do less of something, continue doing something till the time you reach your goal. That's how I bounce. Don't take things personally, uh, too personally. They are not. Most of the times we think that, लोग क्या कहेंगे, और we also think कि अगर उसने मुझे बोल दिया तो, या no बोल दिया तो, it's a very personal thing. It's not really. So that's a topic for maybe another session. We will do this as a topic, how not to take things personally. But that's what I can say. A failure is nothing but a feedback. In fact, my coach, mentor, and friend Ajay Ramakrishnan, he's right here in the room, likes to call it a feed forward, not even a feedback. So Yamini, you're saying, how do we let go of negative thoughts, repetitive negative thoughts? Okay, Ajay, I hear you as well. So it's almost the same question. And how do we let go? So first, the thing is that it's like the thought experiment, right? Don't think of pink elephant. Please don't think of a small baby pink elephant, and don't think it's so cute. So when we say, for example, I'm stressed about something and I'm telling myself all the time, oh, I need to let go of this thought. I need to let go of this stress. I need to let go of this stress. I need to let. What am I doing? In fact, I'm giving more energy to my stress by thinking more and more of it. Now, I also said that you cannot manage and that you cannot control your thinking, but you can definitely manage it. So ask yourself a better question. Ask yourself, so instead of this stress, what I would like to feel, or करना क्या है, अब आगे क्या करना है, चलो ये हो रहा है, be aware कि something is happening, accept it fully, allow it fully. And actually these are the 3 A's that I'm going to be coming, but your question has brought it now, so I will just talk a little bit to that. So when we are aware we are feeling, say, a negative thought, right? First try and think about what is it telling you. Are your values compromised? Is it something happening which obviously you don't like, and that's hence you are, so why is it that, what is making it so unacceptable? Even if it is unacceptable to you, accept that you are not able to accept it. The first step is awareness. The second step is allowance. Allow it. All emotions are okay. The more you will try to let go, the more they will become sticky in nature. So just allow it. ठीक है, होने दो. How can we allow? That also we will talk about. How can we become more aware? So we feel our emotions as sensations in the body. Our body, like I said, is a tool. We feel all of the emotions in the body. We sometimes store them, we sometimes suppress them, and we sometimes also, like we say, oh, put it under the carpet, oh, forget about it, let's move on. No, so allow it. Those things don't work. Those things actually manifest into disease. They can actually manifest into, the suppression usually manifests eventually into some kind of repression of, so like we said, emotion is energy in motion, right? So think about a river. What if the river stops flowing? What does it become? Stagnant. And that's what happens to the emotions. They become stagnant. फिर वो एक ही बारी में फटते हैं, right? Like अगर हम बहुत suppress करते हैं, then we say, no, oh, it was a small trigger, but I burst out like a volcano. So that is the burst. So allow yourself to feel what you are feeling in the moment. Remain in awareness of it and accept it. Acceptance. Without accepting something fully, you cannot change anything. So acceptance is the first step to change. So I long answer to a short question, but I hope I have managed to handle some of it. Okay, so body, another thing. Okay, so we were talking about body as a tool. So I would invite you all. I cannot see anybody because I think everybody has their cameras merrily off. But I would invite you all to maybe just look up and give a big smile. Look up at the ceiling and smile, like a huge smile, and think about something really pleasant. I know we've just spoken about something heavy, and also maybe you guys can just move your body a little, like shake the feeling off, right? And look up and smile, like a huge smile. Okay, and think of something nice, pleasant, some vacation that you've gone to, or something that's so interesting has happened. And now, without looking down, Ajay, don't look down, look, keep looking up. And with a huge smile. Okay, and now without looking down, feel sad. Please feel sad. So Ajay, can you feel sad? You are the only one on camera, so I can ask you, can you feel sad looking up, smiling?
Not really.
Not really, kind of.
Yeah, I saw two cobwebs on the ceiling, so that made me a little bit sad. Apart from that, I really couldn't do much about it.
So what is the sadness telling you to get up your jharu and clean it, right?
Before my wife comes in.
After the session. Well, okay. So this is what I mean when I say body as a tool. Our body is a tool. We cannot be this and be happy, right? Like my shoulders are all sunk in. My mind is all, energy is all down. My face is probably pulled down as well. I cannot be happy. If I have to be happy, I have to be upright and smiling, right? So we can use our body, guys. We can use our body is the biggest tool. And hence, when we exercise, when we do some physical work, when we go out for a walk in the nature or whatever, it helps to change the emotion. It helps us to feel and actually digest that emotion, right? And that's a very good thing. You need to digest, feel your feelings fully, digest your feelings, and then move on, right? You don't have to live in your feelings. And yeah, so that's how we use our body as a tool. So just move your body, shake it, look up, smile. Or if you have to go for a presentation, we all keep doing these things subconsciously, we don't realize it. So when we have to go for a presentation, we'll be like deep breath, and then we'll be probably squaring our shoulders off, putting our spine straight, standing and delivering the presentation. So we always are actually going on, our bodies don't lie, we are going on adjusting our bodies, making micromuscular movements, actually making sometimes that macromuscular movements as well. And use it to your advantage. We are all one system. You cannot say I'll work on my mind and I will not work on my body at the moment. And spirituality, oh, that I'll do when I'm 70 years old. That is when they do that vanaprastha, right? That is when I'll take sannyas. I'll think about it then. What now? Now I have to earn? No, I cannot think about spirituality. So it's part of one system. You are one body, one whole. You cannot have a computer without a hardware or without a software or whatever, right? Like every component is important, and every component, if we upgrade one thing in the computer, the entire computer gets an upgrade. How amazing is that? So guys, you can work on anything, your mind, your body, your spirituality, everything is part of that system, one system. And now I come to the good news. So what is the good news? The good news is that our emotions and our thoughts, they are all temporary. Nothing is permanent, and that's the beauty of life. The impermanence. Sometimes we feel that the impermanence is a curse in our life. But just imagine, what if, have you guys seen that movie, The Groundhog Day? That guy keeps living one day in a loop. And there is something new also, I think, on that lines that Netflix is showing these days. Little Things or something. I'm sorry, I don't remember the name and I've not seen the new one. But yeah, it just imagine, what if everything isn't just a loop? You are living the same day every day. It's so boring, right? And so if you're feeling upset about something, know that it will pass. Know that your thoughts are impermanent and your emotions are impermanent as well. So we already spoke about awareness, allowance, and acceptance. So how do I become aware? One of the things is to look at yourself, like, like we do in meditation. We are actually, with our eyes closed, we are observing. So just be the observer, be in the observer position. Observe your thoughts, observe your emotions, and they will automatically, when you start to observe them, that's how you feel them fully. That's how they will just pass. You will know that your emotion is happening in your body as a sensation. Just observe it, go there, deep breathe into that, and you will, I'm not saying, okay, so this is a very simple step, but it may not be easy to do. Like, it takes practice. Like, you can, don't please message me saying that, oh, but Anuba, I did that and it didn't work. It will work, trust me, it will work, but it will take a little bit of practice and little bit more faith, right? So awareness, allowance, acceptance, faith in yourself. Bonus tool. How many of us, so I didn't talk about this, how many of us want a bonus tool? Right, yes, no, maybe in the chat box, please. Everybody, Anshik is talking about everybody. Oh my god. Okay, so guys, I may have to stop sharing, and then I will figure it out. Okay, like I said, I'm learning some things on Zoom, so I don't know how to really do that. Okay, so okay, let's talk about something which is stressing you out? Maybe maybe your child's exam, or maybe anything. Ajay, would you want to talk, or anybody else who want to volunteer? Talk about the overthinking that is happening in any context in life. अभी तो सारे overthinking के experts थे. Everybody was a pro at overthinking. Anybody wants to volunteer and say what they overthink about? Oh, champions.
Right now, I'm overthinking on whether or not to go in for the COVID vaccine. That's actually something which is occupying a lot of my thoughts, because my wife is a teacher. So we don't know whether taking it is going to help us, whether she should, she goes to school every day now. And so it's a very confusing situation. So we keep overthinking. If you take, what happens? If you don't take, what happens? So that's a debate every day.
Okay. So there's this very interesting pattern, Ajay, that happens when we are overthinking. So when we are overthinking, we are either living in the past, or we are projecting our anxiety into the future. And one tool that I use, and it's not my tool, it's Stephen Covey's tool, and it's a wonderful tool that I share with almost all of my coaches, is this circle of influence and circle of worry. So if I was to put my circle of influence, meaning places where I have power, right? So I can decide what. So circle of worry is everything that happens in my head. So I make 2 columns and I write about both these things. So what is it, Ajay, that is in your circle of influence at the moment concerning COVID vaccination?
Nothing much, actually.
Nothing much, actually. So most of it is in circle of worry, and how I see it is that is one of my overthinking processes and contexts also. So how I see it is that what is in my circle of influence is to understand how the vaccine works, talk to a couple of people, do some more research. That is all under my influence. How it will affect me, or maybe even go to my physician and speak to him, take a certificate from him, and get a test done. There is something called CRP test. So I'm not advising anybody here, but I'm talking about my experience. So these are my things of circle of influence. Like I have some kind of an influence and I can exert on this particular context, right? And then the circle of worry is what will happen if I take, what will not happen if I take, what if I fall sick, what if I do this, what will happen, blah 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 blah. I will still have to wear a mask and go this. So all of that falls in circular worry. The thing is, you don't have any kind of control, or you cannot manage any of those thoughts there. So what happens when I put them in, these columns, it clears my mind to a large extent. I hope it helps, Ajay.
Yes, it does, definitely. I'll look into it. Sounds something which can be done. At least, if nothing else, it has increased my circle of influence.
Yeah. So I use it with my students also. The students who are coaching with me, parents who are coaching with me, because as parents we also all tend to live a lot in the past, or the worry of future. ये क्या करेगा, ये पढ़ नहीं रहा, ये क्यों नहीं पढ़ता, ये सारा टाइम खेलता है, वो इतना पढ़ता है, blah blah blah. So all of that is actually circle of worry. You don't have to worry about it. And what is in your circle of influence, please, if you focus there, your solutions will come. So you know how it is, wherever your focus goes, energy goes, and wherever energy goes, that grows, right? So think, are you giving energy to the problem, or are you giving energy to the solution? And with this, I think I'm at the end. Yeah, I'm at the end of my lecture, Gyan, whatever. So tell me, what are the feelings around in the room? How's everybody feeling? Did you all get something that you wanted? And if there are any questions, I'm open to taking them.
See, the circle of influence and circle of worry, is a very interesting thought. Now, my question is, how do we actually realize which lies where?
Okay.
I mean, it's a very blurred line in between, and
Really? Okay.
many times I think we tend to overthink, like you said, and that overthinking sort of shifts everything into the a circle of worry.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we gain control over that, and how do we actually sort of segregate this into a circle of influence and circle of worry?
So, Ajay, it's not something you can do mentally. First, let me say that you need to write it down.
Okay.
It will not happen at the mental level. As it is you, matlab, like we are all overthinking. As it is, there are so many things on our head. The minute you put it out on the paper, you expose it. Your half the thing is gone here onto the paper or onto the laptop, computer, wherever it is that you want to write. My suggestion is make 2 columns and write it. Now, can you control the rain? You cannot control the rain. Can you control the traffic jam? You cannot control the traffic jam. So all you need to realize is where it is that you can influence the most. There may be something which could be blurry, but not all of them will be blurred. And it's actually quite a demarcated line, if you ask me. When you sit down with the tool, you start to do it, tell me how it goes.
Yeah, I think when you explained it this way, I realized one thing, that when you're defining your circle of influence, one question which you could ask yourself is, what can I do about it?
Absolutely. That is all that circle of influence is. What can I do about it? Not what can okay, so I'll give you a typical example here of my bachas who are scared of board exams. In fact, the parents are more scared of the board exams than the bachas themselves, but I'll still give the example of the bachas. So ma'am is in bad mood when she's checking our paper. What if the paper is tough? What am I going to write if I don't know? Then what will happen? Then what if I don't get 90%? I'm not going to get the admission in blah blah school. So where do you put all of this? You put it all in circle of worry, right? So the minute you also get this into your awareness that all right, this is the circle of worry, you in fact have created more space within yourself to think and do and act or whatever about the solution. So giving more energy to the solution. You're free to do that.
Yeah, thank you so much. That's what I got when you were talking about the rain. I just got that thought.
Yeah, very well said, Ajay. I can't stop the rain, but I can carry an umbrella. Super. Anyone else has a question or a thought, or maybe just want to say how amazing this presentation was and what you learned? What was your aha moment? Nobody?
Yes, I would like to go for this. May I please?
Yes, Prasad, please do.
Yeah. The aha moment was the triple A. I mean, awaken and allow and whatever is other, accept, right? Accept the things, allow them, and be aware to whatever is coming into your mind. So that is
Absolutely.
something which was like a trigger for myself. I will definitely deep into that. Um, Whenever such scenarios or incidents occurs in my life, I will remember these 3 years. And like uh, definitely it will give me not a relief, but it will give me the way to deal with it.
Thank you, Prasad, for your sharing. Thank you so much. Yes,
Thank you very much.
thank you. Ritu, I hear you. You are saying that how about when you're overthinking about past, like guilt, for example, there can't be a circle of influence there, I believe. So, okay. So we are not, we don't have influence on our past. But what we are responsible for right now is our own healing. So we have influence on healing. We have influence to do things differently. And I think that's what we can do. That's how I would see this as. Thank you, Palak. Thank you so much for your kind words. Yeah. No crying. You can cry and think that, oh my God, I'm feeling so helpless today. I feel helpless also at so many times and frustrated. Oh, I'm feeling so helpless today. And then now what? Right now, step out of it. Allow yourself to feel helpless and then go help yourself.
See, it's a very funny thing which I'm sharing, Anubha. I had a very valuable vase and I was moving it from one place to another and I dropped it. It was something like a family heirloom with a lot of history behind it. I dropped and it shattered into 1,000 pieces. And I cried. That's all. Like at that moment, I could only do is cry. And yes, I cursed myself. I could have been much better. I could have been less clumsy. I could have done so many things. But at that point of time, after the vase is broken, there's nothing I can do. The only thing I can do now is to pick up a broom and a dustpan and start washing, clearing that mess. So that's all I had to do to clear the mess and then start working again.
Absolutely. Sometimes all we need to do is accept. Acceptance itself is a big deal, Ajay.
And learn a lesson. I learned a lesson that, okay, next time you're handling a vase, be very careful with it. And the same is with emotions. Sometimes we feel guilty of some things which we said to somebody and that part is gone and then we sort of feel guilty. That's why one of the few good things which I learned from a lot of people is let's always part on a good note. Even if we've had a fight, we must part on a good note. If I'm going out of the house, I may have had a very big fight with my wife, but I will make sure that we part on a good note because we don't know how life is. Things are difficult.
Yeah. And another, it brings me, before I just close the session, Ajay, Ritu, Palak, and Prasad, and all of you all, thank you so much, Anshik, for your wholehearted, interaction. It really gives me a lot of energy when everybody in the room interacts. It's really beautiful. Thank you so much. And before I close, there is this small visualization process that I do with myself when I'm feeling a difficult emotion and I'm unable to, rest. And so I think of myself as a rock. I think of myself as a rock and all my emotions and thought as rivers. And the river is flowing and it is just touching me and going and flowing through me and leaving me there. Of course, the stone will change sometimes. Of course, there may be some crevices where the water will come and stagnate. There will be some emotions I won't be able to let go of at that time. But my responsibility is to heal that, clean that crevice, to heal it and to allow the water to flow and total acceptance, because any transformation, before any transformation, is a radical acceptance of what is. If we can do that, it's awesome. And don't be hard on yourself. Oh, but I needed to accept it. Oh, accept your unacceptance. Yeah, it's okay, it's all right. कुछ नहीं होएगा. It's the part of the deal of being a human being. Be and be human, both. So thank you so much, everyone. God bless you all. Have a wonderful rest of the day and Saturday evening. Do the parties. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anubha.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks for your wonderful session.
Thank you
very much.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ma'am, you can end the session being a host so that.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Rishi. Thank you.
Thank you.